Hi, I'm Prodigo. More Antioch Remastered coming your way. We're in episode 2, Negative Suns. We're going to, what did we just do? The Highlanders, and now we're heading back into Twilight Culling. I think this was the mission where Corin and Nurok die, or something. Oh no, is this the really 5-minute long fucking dialogue mission? Or is that afterwards? I think that's after, yeah? Yeah, that is after. So this is that mission that I'm thinking of. They introduced that scout hero. Okay, so as Charlie Mox establishes his base on Tornado 3, Judicator Termalis and his forces have arrived on Shakuras. It is an unnerving experience for the Judicator to step foot on a world he was taught to hate, accompanied by warriors he would not long ago have called heretics. Still, their truce holds, and Moloch has proven himself a trustworthy guide. For his part, Moloch stands uneasy. His enmity to Nanothyrodune colors his views of the Judicator, as does his ancient mistrust of the Conclave's politicking, which led to his banishment. For now, he remains the Judicator's guide, but he is prepared to take on another role should it become necessary. Under the Shroud, the group travels to New Antioch. First, however, they must pass through an area heavy with Zerg. Nanothyrodune has not been seen since Moloch killed the Cerebrate.
We have only an hour's travel left until we reach New Antioch. I am curious to see how our refugees have been adapting to life with your brethren, Dark One.
Much in the same way we are adapting, I imagine. Or is my faith unfounded in?
It is too early to tell, I imagine.
I will grant you that.
Judicator, I am picking up unusual readings from the caverns ahead.
Elaborate.
Sensors show a swarm of Zerg emerging from the underground caverns surrounding New Antioch. Mostly ground forces, including the strange subterranean strain we encountered near the ruins of Japak, back on Ire.
Beasts that dwell beneath the earth and rip their prey to shreds from below. Only cowards shun the open air.
According to sensor logs, the swarm has remained undetected until this moment. It is currently moving to intercept a shuttle payload on its way to one of New Antioch's outlying mining bases. There are additional forces still emerging from the caverns.
Moloch, is this normal for this time of year?
You have been spending too much time with the Terrans. Your levity is hardly appropriate.
Detachment breeds competence. Excessive emotional investment will only cripple one's ability to strike decisively and efficiently.
You sound as if you have rehearsed those words.
Enough! Forgive me, Judicator, but we must move. Order, and we will march into battle against these perversions of nature.
You are a true zealot by all accounts, Korun. You honor your counterpart.
We stand as one, Judicator. Like you, we long to see Antioch restored to its ancient glory.
Oh, that I may yet live to see that day. But for now, we must deal with the situation at hand. Moloch, is there a haven nearby where we might safely plan a course of action?
There is a mining base to the southeast of the Cavern Ridge. It appears only lightly disturbed by Zerg presence. It may be safe.
Very well. We have little time for speculation, at any rate. We move.
Finally, battle calls.
Just imagine this briefing, but with all of the fat cut off of it immediately. Just think about this. Termalis briefly touches upon the topic of them integrating with one another during wartime, by the way, glossing over the fact that the Zerg were there in the first place, which is weird because it's never... Did we confirm that Zerg were there to begin with? I don't think so. Because we killed the Cerebrate, and that was the last time we played as Protoss, so... They didn't even... They're just traveling to Shakura. So the first exchange between Termalis and Moloch, if it were just one exchange instead of a back and forth for a little bit, would be fine, because then it's like Termalis would just say, how are people... I wonder how our warriors are adapting to... You know, I wonder how the Kali caste and Templar caste are adapting to life on Shakuras with your kind. And Moloch would say... I mean, realistically, he would be like, not at all, because you've just arrived, and we are in the middle of fighting Zerg that we found shortly after your arrival, so we haven't really had time to integrate. But whatever, Moloch would just be like, well, we have to wait until after wartime to really see how things are going to pan out. They would, like, briefly touch on that theme to remind you that it exists. There's some racial tensions or whatever. And then they would get right into the battle at the topic of importance, of immediate importance. And instead of Nurok saying, I'm picking up unusual readings, like he does, he would just say, pardon the intrusion, Judicator, but Zerg are emerging from blah 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 New Antioch, wherever the hell the Zerg were emerging from. And, you know, then Corwin would step in and say, they are, you know, well, Nurok would be like, oh, it's similar to, it includes the subterranean strain that we fought near Japak. And Corwin would be like, I hate those things, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, he doesn't even have to say that, but you can include that in just for the sake of giving him lines. And then you just cut out the nonsense where, like, Termalis says to a Protoss that literally cannot show emotion due to a biological element, says to that Protoss, you shouldn't be emotionally attached. Like, just get rid of that fucking bit. Like, it's not necessary. You've already touched on the racial division or the tensions or whatever with the opening line. You don't need to, like, reintegrate that somehow. It doesn't add anything to Termalis' character besides making him look like even more of a fuckwit. So just completely remove that. Maybe jump right to Termalis asking Moloch about the area, because then you immediately show, hey, Moloch is the guy who's being the guide, and you don't have to have the opening blurb in the text paragraph in the chapter of the book that I read before starting this mission. So we haven't even started, before starting the briefing. So then you have that established, and you don't have to include that in the briefing, and you cut out some more fat of the briefing, and I mean, you don't have to include that in the text opener, and you cut out that chunk of the briefing so that you can get into the mission faster. Like, there's so much shit that you could just remove, and it wouldn't actually impact. It would have a positive impact as opposed to it being like removing integral pieces. It just waters the whole thing down and makes it less palatable. Also, the start button is not fucking centered. A lot of testing, Tony. Shakuras, near mining base.
Be wary. The land here is much different than it is in your own world. These cliffs can envelop the landscape in shadows that change with one's very thoughts and emotions. Keep close, Judicator, and stay alert.
I can assure you, staying alert is foremost on my mind. I have sent Corwin and Nurok ahead to reconnoiter our prospective base camp. We should hurry. They must be waiting by now.
I don't know why one of the zealots was just sitting there. Vicious noises.
Intriguing. How do you propose we deal with this?
The cliffs hide the answer.
No reaction?
We seem to have found it.
I am called Culling. I am here to assist you.
Quillian, my friend, I would not have thought it possible.
Moloch, I am here and still alive, comrade. It is good to see you amid all this chaos. And who is this outsider?
He is Termalis, a Judicator of the old homeworld, from which we have recently returned.
Another Judicator from Ire, here on Shakuras? Stranger things have happened. Antaro Tassadar, Judicator Termalis.
Our meeting was fortunate.
Of that I have no doubt. Come, I will escort you to your destination.
That model. Whew.
I am
What is your wish?
Well, you know what that means. What? Why is that being undrawn and drawn? It looks like it's like forced occlusion, as if we had a unit over there or something, but obviously that's not true, so. Oh, my fucking debug beam from the depths of hell. So the map is restricted in this. They tried to do something with the decor, but there's no variation in the texture work. Also, whatever this splat is on the ground is so insanely low poly. Everything is falling apart. There should be a way to remove that splat, but also, wait, what the fuck? Hold on, what's my... How do I, what is it, the delete key? Oh my god. Don't look at it. Whatever you do, don't look at it. Oh, Tony! Well, we can just sit here and let our units die. So. Oh yeah, he can attack air units in this. I forgot. So he didn't even need Culling. Alright, well we know that that's where we're supposed to go, and there's nowhere else to go, so... Just more disgusting stuff to find. Ah! Hey! Fix your game! Test your maps!
All is secure here. What is our plan of action?
Wallach has provided me with the locations of several sentry emplacements along the northeastern ridge of the caverns, overlooking several small canyons where Vespine gas was once refined. Each sentry station is unmanned and has been ignored by the Zerg. These will be our points of entry.
A shuttle will drop off 1 or 2 volunteers at the first sentry post. They will then attempt to lure the nearby Zerg farther into the canyon. Close to the old Vespine assimilator. A charge will be placed at the base of the assimilator, at which point the shuttle will transport our volunteers to safety.
The charge should ignite the Vespine gas still inside the assimilator, forcing an explosion that should wipe out the Zerg caught above ground in the canyon. At that point, the shuttle will move on to the next sentry station to repeat the process. That is, if the shuttle makes it out in time. To avoid unnecessary risk, the majority of us will stay here to guard this outpost until a path is cleared to New Antioch. Only the detonation team will board the actual shuttle. This should allow the operation to progress undetected.
We only have 5 detonation charges, but they should be sufficient. We should be able to cut a path through the Zerg toward the southwest that will allow us safe passage to New Antioch, if all goes well.
A well-conceived plan. But the question remains, who is to volunteer?
I will. It is time to take back what the Zerg have stolen. It matters not that this world is alien to me. The battle is won at the same. I will go as well. We will not have it any other way.
Very well, but be swift. The faster we move, the more Zerg we prevent from assailing New Antioch.
That ground texture is really fucking unfitting. Does not look like a texture at all. So, in the original, yeah, we have 3 upgrades. That is something else. Holy moly. Well, wait, he just plays an Artanis sound file when he's under attack. Unless that was his voice?
Order and I will act.
Doesn't sound like that. Alright, well, we are being attacked at least. What are these called? Cavern Dwellers. Pretty epic. Pretty exciting. Well, we'll just build a lot of cannons. I'm not going to bother as much else.
I do it with pride.
Wow, that particle effect. Look at that. Why? Don't do that. Hi. Holy moly. I think there might be something wrong with my brain. Oh wait, I just noticed the fuck... Look at the minimap! Look, we're playing fucking mini games. This isn't real. Guardians just may remind me of Vile Aggression. Cutscene time, baby! What is game flow? The shuttle is so slow moving, and its particle effect is absolutely fucked. In the original game, we don't even have control of our... this is so unbelievably lazy. In the original, my big problem was that there's not even any red units anymore. Holy shit. So, it seems like their abilities got buffed from 3 seconds to 5 seconds. I could be wrong about that from the first episode. I didn't really notice in the earlier missions. That's embarrassing. They didn't even pause the units on the other side, but in the original, there was no reason for these heroes to be the ones to do this. They didn't have to be ones that you could send one zealot to do this job and do it just as well. But they just included this so that they could kill them off at the end. Now, in this version, I would hope that they would do something that would actually require using these units because only they could get the job done. And yet, it's still the same. Already there. Like...
Great death with open arms, filth-ridden worms. Fire's children have teeth of their own.
And then they just fly over to the next area? Like, they couldn't even make the area, like, further away so they don't obviously fly into it? Holy moly! This map is next level lazy! I have never seen quite so much lazy. That is absurd! Guys, help me out here. Oh, man. Wow. Wow. Wasn't expecting that one. What a shocker. Well, this is somehow worse than the... This is like my least favorite map, I think, of the original. And they managed to make it, the base, way more unreadable than it would have been on any other ground texture, by the way. But I can't read anything. Everything, like, I can't see selection circles on this at a glance, which StarCraft 2 already has a problem with. Nothing. This particle effect is so bad on top of it. For the, whatever this is called, the Devourer shit. I forget what it's called. But it's bad. Okay, well, we can't... I guess we could do this. Oh, never mind. Well, now it'll be unpowered, and I won't be able to restart it, because... Or I won't be able to repower it before the next attack, so that's going to be funny. It's not like there's any ramifications to it. Like, did they play this and think this was acceptable? I can literally just do this. There is no gameplay here! They released this!
These beasts die well, at the very least.
Holy moly. Oh, it did pause them this time. Wait, stop that. Oh wait, I didn't even need that? Well, I need it now. But, Jesus Christ, that is pretty insane. The Devourer model looks surprisingly okay. Is that actually fan-made, or...? Doesn't say in the, Oh, 90. No. Back out. I can't even make basic shit. It's pretty embarrassing. Rank Scribe. Pretty exciting. Sensational. Wowie.
What is your wish?
My wish is for a campaign. Oh shit. Got him. Wait, is that a... Their death model is just a corruptor. Why is it so hard for people to make a... They make a custom model, but they don't make a death model for it? It's like where you insert that picture of that black guy who just has a bunch of question marks around his head or something. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Oh, shit. When they get paused, they get decloaked. That's, is there really no way to fix that? Or maybe just don't... I don't know, man.
I must say, Narok, this feels like old times. You do your homeland proud, Culling. No, you do.
No, you.
I simply serve as I must.
You, actually. You.
I feel the call. Command and I will serve. Call off.
Embarrassing.
Charges set.
I almost accidentally tripped that region just by ordering them around. So... There's like, I can see what people would be like, oh, there's some intrinsic problems to the fact that, like, you're saying they shouldn't unpause they shouldn't pause the units that way. They shouldn't do this or that. And, like, yeah, I understand where people are going with that, but... You have to understand, if you design your game well enough, you won't have to worry about shit like this. You just don't. If you design your game well enough, you don't have to worry about, like, pausing the game and interrupting game flow and any of this shit. It's not necessary. You don't have to give people, like, 3/3 upgrades or disable their tech tree in one of the final Protoss missions that they play. The penultimate one, I'm pretty sure. Wait. I give up. Look at this. Why is this even up here? Why is it pathable? That's pretty epic. I honestly can't imagine playing this. Or making this. I can't even see these dots on my screen either. Holy moly. There you go, we'll put a pylon up there. It'll look so thematic and cool, my dude. My epic dude. By the way. Oh, my shift. Is this the final one? I didn't even keep track of how many we've done. I think there are 5. I think we've done 3 so far, so this is the 4th. Oh shit. He's giving orders.
Charges set. We are almost through. One more canyon stands between us and New Antioch.
One more canyon stands between us and gameplay.
I long for combat.
Well, what I will say about this campaign, it's really changed. It has shocked me at every turn. They really outdone themselves with this mission. I'm missing units left and right because of this ground texture. Not that I need to worry about unit management at all. In fact, my units handle this all for me. Bye. This guy just got hit with, like, Scourge or something, and it doesn't even matter. Finally killed a single cannon. Pretty scary. Minimum range 24. Dude, the map that there's not even enough map room. Ooh, my goodness! They didn't even center it correctly on his model. And it still stays there. Wait. What is going on? What is happening? I'm getting hit by hydralisks that I can't even see. Somebody send help.
As you see fit.
That could have been any structure. Oh no, that was actually a... I think that was a Overlord. Wow. Wow. Hey, I see an orange dot. There's a neutral probe? They forgot to give me all of the probes? Is that real? I feel like that was just like they're given over to that player or something, and we'll know if it's not. Well, no, this is the final gameplay segment actually. So it's not the case. Hi. Oh, it's just cutscene. You just shot units that. Oh no! What is the problem?
What? A Protoss squadron?
Yes, we have no means of escape.
I could fly in.
You.
There is no time.
Dude, he's got a hyperspace jump. What do you mean?
Forget us. Prepare your troops to make their way to Antioch Chronicles. Quickly, before more Zerg arrive to fill in the ranks of those that have fallen.
We move at once. Entaro Adun, defenders of Antioch.
Entaro Adun. We do this.
Why are they playing a piano track? No.
Come and kill me with your own claws, vermin. You seem to welcome your fall.
No.
Why should I not? You welcomed yours as a warrior should.
Oh.
No, I did not. It was my fault. I should have been there.
Look at the circling behind the Hydralis! Look, top left! How do you trigger it? Oh, they're stuck! Oh, they're stuck! Oh, no! Oh. Dialogue is so unclear.
My brethren may tread on you once the ashes have cleared. For the swarm. What?
And the piano keeps playing. Come on.
Judicator, your troops have succeeded. A path lies clear to New Antioch.
Indeed it does. Their sacrifice will not be forgotten.
Unbelievable.
Unhaunted. The heart of a warrior. That much.
Why is the piano track continuing? And then it just cuts off.